And what I advise every fighter to do, and every athlete to do, if you get 100,000, put 50,000 up. If you get 200,000, put 100,000 up, but never touch that money. Always put it to the side. And always, you know, what these fighters don't know and what writers don't know, how I change the sport totally is this. You have, when you think about what goes on in the sport of boxing, what was going on at first. A fighter, say if a fighter get $1 million, 10% was going to 10% was going to a trainer, 33 1/3 was going to a manager, and then they had to pay Uncle Sam another 30%. So fighters was really ending up with what is 10% or 15% of their money. And then a lot of times people were, you know, a lot of people were writing stories and people want to know why, how this fighter didn't have anything. And you got to realize this sport of boxing this is a dirty sport. This is a dirty sport, and only 1% of fighters make it. I mean, make it to a certain level. Only 1% of fighters make it. So if you got 10% going to a trainer, 33, well, we just say 30% going to a manager. That's 40% right there. And then another 30%, and then you got to realize the promoter is not telling the fighter, because a promoter can come to the sport of boxing. A promoter can do it like this. A promoter can come in the television. I'm gonna use Stephen for instance. Well, he's a great guy. I'm just using you. Don't worry. Okay, we'll just say Stephen may put up $3 million for the bout, right? Not to us. This is not to Mayweather promotion. We're gonna say to another company, $3 million. What these promoters was doing back in the day for so many years is this. When they get $3 million, they do like this. They give the main event, they give the main guy $700,000. Then they give his opponent $300,000, and they pay the underbout some crumbs. Matter of fact, they get the main event. They get a guy $600,000, give his opponent $300,000, and they take the $100,000 and pay the rest of the car, and they'll pocket $2 million. And then they keep all the money for the T-shirts, all the sponsors, and then for the gate, they keep all the money. What we did, we came to the table and did like this. We made fighters aware of what they're going to get. We said, listen, you're going to keep the lion's share, but we have to make money also. And that's what and that's why a lot of promoters didn't like when I created Mayweather Promotion, or when I became my own boss. And a lot of times people want to say, Al Heyman is my business partner. You know, a lot of times people want to say, well, Floyd Mayweather Sr. was his manager, this guy is his manager. Al Heyman was my advisor, and then we became business partners. Together, me and Al Heyman worked together, and now in the sport of boxing, I think we have 200 or 300 fighters. But that didn't happen overnight. Al Heyman is a brilliant. When I say I'm talking about when it comes to business, I mean, he's a very shrewd businessman, just like Leonard Ellaby. And it takes brains to want to surround yourself with brains. That's why I deal with guys like Al, and I deal with guys like Leonard. They got a master's degree. I cannot, you know, I want guys that's sharp, that's going to make intelligent moves, because if I'm somewhere overseas and someone has to make a business decision, I would say to myself, listen, what would Floyd do? And that's what I want my team to think like. Every day my team that runs around, what would Floyd do? Because the best sense is common sense. And that's something that I have. And then, you know, and I'm happy that I was a defensive fighter. I'm happy that I was a defensive fighter. That I was able to retire from the sport before I was 40, have all my faculties, still be sharp, and make smart investments. We need more fighters to be like this. It looks good. I mean, of course, I don't mind watching it with the blood, sweat, and tears. I don't mind watching it, but it's not going to be me. That's not me. And they said, Floyd, he's a born fighter. I said, well, I don't mind being born if I can make over 800 million. You know, well, I think we need more born fighters like me, more smart fighters.